Emily was a DoorDash driver, working long hours to make ends meet. One night, she received a request for a delivery to a remote location on the outskirts of town. It was a late-night delivery, but the payout was too good to pass up. She accepted the request and set off to make the delivery. As she drove down the dark, deserted road, Emily began to feel uneasy. The area was isolated and unfamiliar, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She tried to ignore the feeling and focused on reaching her destination. When she arrived at the address, she found an old, abandoned house. The windows were boarded up, and the yard was overgrown with weeds. It didn't look like anyone had lived there for years. Emily was hesitant to get out of her car, but she needed the money, so she reluctantly made her way to the front door. As she approached the house, she heard strange noises coming from inside. It sounded like someone was moving around, shuffling and scraping against the floor. Emily tried to ignore it and knocked on the door, announcing herself as a DoorDash driver. To her surprise, the door creaked open, revealing a dark and empty interior. Emily hesitated, but the smell of the food she was delivering wafted out, tempting her to step inside. She cautiously made her way into the house, calling out to see if anyone was there. No one answered, but Emily could feel a presence watching her from the shadows. She moved quickly, placing the food on the kitchen counter and turning to leave. However, the door slammed shut behind her, trapping her inside. Panic set in as Emily realized that she was alone in the abandoned house with something unknown. She heard footsteps approaching, slow and deliberate, and the scraping sound grew louder. She tried to find a way out, but every door and window was sealed shut. As she frantically searched for an escape, Emily stumbled upon a room at the back of the house. It was covered in cobwebs and dust, but there was a single object in the center of the room, an old delivery bag, just like the one she was carrying. Suddenly, Emily realized the horrifying truth: she wasn't the first DoorDash driver to make a delivery to this abandoned house. Others had come before her, and they had never been seen again. Emily's fate was sealed as the door to the room slammed shut, locking her inside with whatever unspeakable horror was lurking in the shadows. The last thing she heard was the sound of footsteps approaching, and the scrape of something being dragged across the floor.